The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
I'm Marvelous.
No, I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. How you feeling today?
I'm good, my brother. How you feeling today?
Surviving and smiling, man.
Yeah,
Can't complain, you know?
I see, you got the Billie Jean jacket on with the less zippers.
Zippers. I know, man. I'm just trying to get like more zip. You see, I got the extra zipper up here. I be plotting or whatever. Trying to just be out here, just thriller and my shit. I want to see that damn Michael Jackson Broadway thing, though. I want to see the Michael Jackson musical. Because I was iffy on like when I was hearing about it, but then when I heard that they don't talk about like the rape case and everything like that, I was like, I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it because I'm tired of hearing about like Mike Jacks and the rape cases.
Yeah.
Because, hear me out. CIA.
Right.
FBI.
Right.
NSA.
Right.
They government facilities, right?
Yeah.
They done investigated some wild shit in their life.
Yes, they have.
They done cracked some wild ass cases.
They have.
They didn't crack no case when it came to Mike and this little boy.
They haven't.
They've been investigating Mike for like forever before he died, right?
Forever, yeah.
And they still never found nothing, right?
No.
Okay.
And at some point, you just gotta let it rest. You gotta let it rest.
People gonna fight me when they hear this. Though. They're gonna be like,
I know.
And I think one argument that I always run into when I always try to say about like Mike didn't do it.
Right.
Would you let Mike Jackson lay in the bed with your son? No, I want no one laying in the bed with my son but me. Okay? I was like, just me and his mother. That's it.
That's it.
Everybody else, we got a problem.
Yeah.
I don't care, relative, celebrity, or not.
Yeah.
End of discussion.
Yeah.
All right.
This is not back in the day when everybody shared the bed. No.
Yeah.
This
is good. Like, moving on up like Jordan Reezy, right? Okay. We are here, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, all the above. PodicalSons.com, all streaming platforms possible, even to the newer ones that pop up. If we don't know your name, it's not like we're disrespecting you. We're glad you like us.
We're glad you're here, man.
That top 10% in Podicy.
Okay.
Rank the top 10 percentile in Podicy. Right? Bless. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
And yeah. What do you want to...
one more thing. Those who are subscribed to YouTube, notification bell, don't forget. That's when you get to know that we dropped.
Ding.
All right.
What would you like to talk about? I think you know what I'm gonna start doing? First few minutes I give you whatever you want to get off your chest.
All right. Let's at least get through the polls first, because I think that's tradition. Let's not stray from tradition. Let's get rid of the polls.
So
first.
we'll go to the polls, then you whatever you want to get off your chest.
Cool,
all right,
cool.
So first poll of the week was now, do you dress to impress or do you dress for success? And 78% said for success. How do you feel? You agree with that?
I dress to impress.
I know a lot of people dress to impress, but I feel like they think they dress for success.
Yeah.
See, I feel like you might dress to impress, let's say, Gucci down to the socks, like on vacay somewhere. Say you're going like Miami for the weekend or something like that. Yeah. Your Gucci flip-flops, and that's to impress.
That's to impress.
Job-wise, that ain't gonna really get you too far unless you're in the entertainment world, possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
You know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
Now, impress as success, some people are like, what's the difference? Because I seen a few of those DMs. What's the difference?
Right.
I go to work wearing, I want to say, like, my uniform. Fuck you.
Uni.
A button up, whatever kind of hats and whatever kind of kicks to match the button up and everything, right? I try to keep it in tone and stuff, not doing the most, because like I got shirts for like my truck fit shirt with the one with the weed headed guy. I can't wear that to work.
You can't wear that one to work.
But that shirt's fly though.
Right.
It's
That's
fly.
to impress.
That's to impress. And that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, my uni shit is for success.
Right.
Business casual.
Business casual.
Done deal. So a lot of people, they claim they walk around business casual. Well, I see some of y'all. Can't wait to see some of y'all when y'all keep liking some of these podcast stuff. Appreciate y'all, but I'm gonna start checking the damn profiles when like, where this like came from? That look like impressed. They don't look like success.
Maybe we should poll like how many of our fans and viewers actually own a pea coat.
So wait, hold on. Before we start, I see no problem with that.
Right.
So if you don't own like an overcoat, a pea coat, trench, you're not really dressing for success. That's what
I don't think. I mean, I don't know if you can throw the bomber jacket over a two-piece suit and still pull it off.
Ain't it.
That ain't it.
Ain't it. Hey yo, that's some wild shit.
Yeah,
that's some wild shit. I went to somebody's funeral.
Right.
I can't remember. It was like an older person, and I think like whoever I went to the funeral with, I was like showing support for like friend.
Of course.
And when I was there, I turned my head, and the dude like a grade A felon. Like he's there like in a suit, and at the bomber jacket, like it stops like where the blazer did it. Like it was a lot to see.
It's a lot.
And I was like, yo, like it's a few times in my life when I'm like, yo, that's ghetto. That was ghetto.
That was ghetto. Yeah.
Okay, so what we're not gonna do is bomber jacket and suits. That's wild.
That is wild. That's wild.
The most you can do is probably a parka. Because a parka has like a little length.
Right.
To it.
Right.
So yeah.
Don't make it be like a bubble. Don't make it be like a bubble.
Like a Montclair?
Yeah.
No, that ain't it.
That ain't it.
That ain't it. Next poll was, do kids have it harder than the kids of the past? So the kids of today.
Kids of today?
You feel like they have it harder than the kids of the past?
No. I think that's a good question.
Let's talk.
I think they have it easier, but because they have it easier, I think more is expected of them.
So you think they have it easier? What do you mean by the more is expected?
Well,
talk to me. Let's talk. We here.
Like when we were growing up, right?
Okay.
We're doing projects. We needed to go to the library, maybe sign out some encyclopedias if our parents didn't have the whole damn encyclopedia collection at the house.
Yeah. Library was my friend.
We had to actually look and go and study.
Mm-hmm.
Today, these kids have the encyclopedia in their hand. Not only do they have the encyclopedia in their hand, they could go to YouTube. They have countless ways of finding out information. It's at their fingertips.
Oh, so that's why we're like, okay, so you ain't got to go travel to the library, spend time those multiple hours.
Right.
So let's say back then it would probably take you like 2 to 3 hours. But now you have access to everything right here in the house.
Everything right.
You should be able to do everything within an hour.
Right.
An hour and a half.
Right.
So then therefore you have another hour and a half to do other shit. I see that. I like how you broke it down. I get that.
Yeah. Because I think that
you're right.
I think that's the expectation. I'm like, well, what are you complaining? Because we always hear that. What are you complaining for? Back in my day, I had to do this, that, and this.
Right.
You just got to do that. You should have already been done.
That's okay. That's fair. Could we say? I would say on the yes side. Cause I'm on both sides on this. Right. I look at where. Forgive me. Social media.
Yeah.
Back then, no social media.
Right.
Today's time, social media. So, let's say it might have been a local effect that, we'll say for shits and giggles, somebody's mom was a prostitute.
Right.
She was a prostitute. No, we didn't even go that far. We'll say she was a stripper.
Okay.
The mom was a stripper in that town.
Right.
And what specific town, they just know her. She's the local favorite at the strip club.
Right.
Now, we have OnlyFans. So not only, and then plus social media and stuff too. So not only if mom is the number one popping stripper, we as strip club owners will market the mom.
Right.
To kind of bring in a bigger crowd because, we got to let it be known.
Right.
So now mom is all out here, making extra bucks, probably have possible OnlyFans to make some change and everything.
Possibly.
Now, like I said, mom, the child for both.
Right.
The child for both. The people in the town might give him a type of look. He or she a type of look.
Right.
But let's say when they come to like adulthood or college time,
Yeah.
they can move out of town and that's just none the wiser.
That's it.
Today's time, niggas don't forget shit.
And you can't escape. You can't escape anything.
No.
No, you can't escape anything. Yeah.
So that's part of the harder thing. Now, let's say kidnappings, those type of stuff. Kidnapping, bullying. I feel like be aware, like the awareness, like make sure you get home. I want you to be safe.
Right.
Those dynamics of fundamentally to me don't really change too much if you have a caring parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like in today's time, somebody can't like put like this. They can't go off the grid. Because that's why you have Amber Alerts and stuff that pop off, right? Yeah. But I feel like back then it was more of a community kind of world. We're looking like, we can't find such and such.
Right.
Pony up. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They knocking on doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? So Amber Alerts weren't popping off like that back then.
Right.
No shade. But now today, you have Amber Alerts and people just, I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah.
If I get Amber Alert and I look, I'm like, this is in bumfuck Ontario. It's got nothing to do with me. I put my phone down.
Yeah. I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
So if the kid is like literally, let's say they were, okay, I don't know all of Ontario, like how like you guys would know Ontario.
Right.
But let's say there's like a neighboring town close to, let's say, Caledon.
Okay.
We'll call it Marvland.
Right.
Since you want to have a Drew Fest, we'll call it a Marvland. I'm going to come on a Marv Fest. I didn't forget about that. But with Marvland now, say you're not familiar with how close Marvland is. Yeah. I know I've heard other situations where like freak of nature stuff happen, and even local Ontario people that's been here all their life be like, where the hell is that?
Yeah, no, you're right.
So kidnapping takes place, and they take kid from Marvland. People saying like, where the hell is that? When kid could have actually been seen in Brampton.
Yeah, yeah.
But people be like, was that the? I don't know.
But see, I think that's the problem with Amber Alerts though, because with Amber, when you get the Amber Alerts,
people are annoyed.
No, it's straight text.
So what do you would prefer a phone call?
No, I'm saying
like
if you got the Amber Alert,
okay,
right? And maybe if the Amber Alert came with a picture of the kid, of the child, then that maybe might register in your head, and who knows, he might be out walking around in Brampton.
True.
And be like, wait a sec, where do I know that face from? Right? Oh shit. That's the little girl or little boy that's missing from Marvland.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I changed my answer to Marvland because that made it seem like kids get abducted by Marvland. No, I changed my answer. I don't want it.
Who's the mayor of Marvland? What's going on over there?
Drew Joseph, baby. Got it.
Nah, but you're right. But and it's funny because when you said like mom stripping at the strip club, I remember back in the day when I would go to the strip club, right? And they would have a feature coming in from out of town. Before the feature got there, it would be like posters. Oh, and then the DJ announced, next week we got so-and-so come. We get stripper shows up and she's got her posters giving out where you can find me. Now there's no need for none of all of that.
No.
Not at all.
No. Everything's just straight digital posts.
Yeah. Yeah.
When like those it works.
It works.
It works. Like certain things and stuff like you and I, we always have these discussions and we, Not Your Average and I always talk about things that might go antiquated.
Right.
And sometimes business cards, I feel like that too, but business cards and stuff, they're in a world where they find a way to survive because they get intricate by like design. So if it was just like a business card before, like, I'm Stripperella 3000 and this is my socials.
Right.
Where like, now the card might do some extra kind of shit, might have an extra kind of flair where you can't forget what this whole feature and stuff is about.
Yeah.
But that's the same effect like a Instagram post.
Yeah. Yeah.
A Twitter post. Yeah. A Facebook post. Yeah. Right? So they're kind of like in that same kind of weight class now. But like I said, the more I want to say intricate or lively that the business card looks,
Right.
that's what will prolong the business card's lifespan. They're not needed anymore.
They're not needed though, but I still think it's still even like the ease of use, right? It's like, for instance, we're at a convention. I run into you, right? It's easier for me to dip in my pocket, pull out a business card, and give it to you, as opposed to us both taking out our phones, going into our directory, punching in numbers, this, that, and the third. Now, once you get the business card, whether you want to keep it in your hand or transfer all the information to your phone, that's up to you. But now at least you have the information and we ain't waste no time doing it.
I recall like Samsung, and again, I don't want to call them out, but I feel like it was an Android phone.
Right.
Where like you bump particular corners. So if you and I is trying to swap contact information, like we bump phones and stuff.
And
but I don't know how that setup is. Like you have to go in and set parameters to do it,
right?
Or just have it ready because kind of like boom, be prepared to bump phones and like boop. That's simple.
Yeah, that's simple.
That can work. But to what you're saying, the business cards and stuff work fine and stuff as well too. Because if I'm out and about, we have Podicals on business cards.
Yeah,
I'm out and about. I'm having conversations with some people when, they're like, oh, we're just talking. I'm like, oh, I have a podcast. I dip straight in my pocket, my coat pocket, and it's like, here.
That's it.
And it has all the contact.
Sometimes you don't even have time to have that conversation. It might be just a fleeting pass by. Oh, shit, here. Just hit me up later. That's it.
Straight goods. Nah, man. These kids, though, they go through some shit. Both. Like, I want to say old and new.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I don't want to pick on the kids of today, but definitely it's a different league. If the NBA was a different league back then,
it's
like the kids back then was this different league, and so they were built stronger,
right?
To me, or more resilient,
right?
Let's say that better word, because like I grew up. Okay, if I'm a kid from back then. The amount of shit I heard from playing even Call of Duty online, I've been called every form of nigger, porch monkey, the shit that probably makes somebody like slit some wrists, and, just gaming wise and stuff. And now, if certain things are even said, like, if that's even like posted somewhere, as damn near suicidal already for the kid. And I'm not saying most of the kids and stuff are like that, but I mean, the duration word, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah.
That shit don't exist today.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
I don't think these kids even know that.
Words, it might be stronger than sticks and stones at this point because guess what? You don't have to be in the vicinity to throw a word.
Cancel. Be like, you say something like, I don't like what you said. You're going to get canceled.
Yeah.
I heard they look like two younger girls, like some young high schoolers, I want to say, and they're talking to a boy.
Right.
And I was walking past, and they're like, "Can't believe you said." They talking to the boy. "Can't believe you said that. You're going to get canceled." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Canceled is the new sticks and stones.
Yes. So I was like,
canceled is the new sticks
I
and
looked
stones.
at all three of them like, just soft asses. I was like, canceled.
How about it as far as physicality is concerned? Better back then, the kids back then than now, because the same thing we're saying, right? Like our idea of fun was leaving the house and actually going to do something, whether that be playing sports, whether that just be going for bike rides, just doing like a regular activity. These kids today, their activities all indoors with their phone.
Yeah, so these kids today, no. If we're talking about physicality and stuff like that, no. The kids back then, they run shop.
Right.
Like they outbeat these kids. I feel like the adults back then compared to adults now, way different weight classes. The adults now are taking more care of their health than they were back then.
You're absolutely right.
So I feel like right now, like these adults, particularly, let's say like I guess like us millennials, I want to say probably the earlier Gen Zs.
Yeah.
The earlier Gen Zs, like who are adults, like they're eating better. they're moving a little bit better and everything. Hell, I even think that's just like the Gen Z, earlier Gen Zs to like the late millennials.
Right.
Those are those whole food motherfuckers. So they want to eat food and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's good for my body and everything. It'll taste like shit.
Yeah.
It ain't good, but I mean, to them, it's like they're putting better things and stuff in their system.
Right.
I have a cousin.
Yeah.
She's vegetarian.
Okay.
She's 37.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That back then wouldn't be heard of.
Right. Nah, you're right.
Wouldn't be heard of. And like for commonality, I want to say they're juicing now. They're doing. You know what I'm saying, they're doing so many
bunch
more
of different
things.
stuff.
They're watching YouTube, better skincare. Hell, I learned how to line up my beard and deal with my damn beard from YouTube. You're learning more. So what I'm saying, the adults now are built better than the adults was back then.
Yeah.
Like they might have been. I want to say, I do feel like though I can't grow a porn star mustache. I can try. Like, you know, that thick ass mustache. We're talking about like the fucking the Tom Selleck shit.
I was about to say, what's the name on Simpsons? The preacher dude?
The preacher dude? Reverend Lovejoy?
No, sorry, not the preacher dude. Homer's neighbor.
Oh, Ned Flanders.
Ned Flanders. That Ned Flanders mustache.
I feel like, there's something like throughout the generations go down, like that's not gonna happen so much.
Right.
Like I want to say, even I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, it might be anecdotal, but I heard that even people like growing facial hair.
Yeah.
They said more of the warrior types can grow beards. And it's just genetically because to help cushion like damage power to the face.
Yeah.
Because it softens the blow.
Yeah.
So if you're a soft ass smooth skin dude, you're weak ass jeans.
Your jeans is not supposed to be.
You ain't no fighter. You ain't about this.
Your jeans ain't supposed to be.
You soft. Real men out here.
Got that Kimball slice.
They gonna be all pissed off. They gonna be pissed off now when they hear this. But alas, we are here, man. We are here. So you ready?
You ready for my bullshit?
Go ahead, man. Fire away, man. Fire away. I'm waiting for this, man. I like this. Talk to me. What's on your mind?
Share
the singing. Do you believe in love after love?
Do you believe in love after love? First of all, kudos to Cher for living her truth and going after what she wants and not let anybody else stop her. Cher is now, how old did we say Cher is?
72.
Cher is 72.
And her boyfriend, Alexander Edwards, is 37. He's my age.
37. Oh, so you could have been with Cher.
I don't think my woman would allow that, but
you shouldn't allow that. But you're in the bracket. You're in the bracket.
I'm in the bracket.
I'm too old for Cher, apparently.
You way too old, my guy. You way too old. What you need to do is calm down.
Yeah, I say, yeah. But listen.
The double standard?
The double standard kills me because for the fact that she's in a position, right, to make dude's life better than what it is, people are mad and upset at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone's got to explain that to me.
No, I think it's a fair trade. Like, here's my thing. I feel like it's a fair trade-off. Now I've heard the old ones. I heard women talk about men like this. It's the old ones have all the moves,
right,
and the young ones have all the stamina.
Yes, right.
So you've heard that too.
I've heard it. I've heard it.
So now you have a situation and stuff where, for a 72-year-old woman, Cher is put together.
Cher is popping.
She is put together.
Yeah.
Madonna looked like Jigsaw from Saw movies.
Yeah.
Different shit going on with, and
Cher stood the test of time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She had a song, If I Can Turn Back the Hands of Time. She probably did find some shit out.
She found some shit.
So with her man now, she's throwing dollars because he's a musician.
Okay.
I've never heard no hits.
Nah.
But with Cher's budget though, who can't you not afford, right?
Who can't you afford?
Probably ask for a Jay-Z verse or some shit like that. If Jay tells us some shit like, I want $1 million for the verse, babe.
I got you, babe.
Oh, shit. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
I like what you did right there. I like what you did there. She can cover it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been covering most of his, I want to say his lifestyle and the expense. When you have let's say, millionaire tycoon with young 20-something odd woman,
Yeah.
it's problematic. Why?
I don't get it.
But we don't flinch when it comes to him spending the money. Like, oh, that's how he has to keep her. What the fuck you think, Cher? And she has to spend money and she getting dick. What's the problem?
She can't take the money with her. She can't take the money with her. She might as well put it to good use.
Cher has what, 2 kids? With Sonny and Cher?
Yeah.
So she has 2 kids, who are adults now. I don't think she's making them live out in the cold.
Nah.
I haven't seen anything since Alexander, the boyfriends, came in the photo.
Right.
I haven't seen anybody saying she's been living in the gold.
Oh, but I mean, let's be real. We know nepotism is a real thing.
Hell yeah, I believe in it.
Her kids have probably been in a position for quite some time now where they can stand and take care of their own.
Actually, yeah. Like, the son. Like, I remember the song in my head. It's like a rock song, though. But he has something like, got the key to Gramercy Park or some shit like that.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't know who, when I heard the song, it was on MTV way back then when they did play music videos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, why does the song always keep coming on? Figure out this is Sonny and Cher's son.
Right.
So it's kind of like, yo, if you're one of those veterans or old money people with power, you'd be like, you need to spin my boy's son.
Shit. Yeah, that's it.
So,
and especially somebody like Cher, she'd be like, yo, either you play my son's shit or I'm starting to pull my shit. You don't want to lose Cher's shit.
no,
So I'm like, all right, I'll throw your son shit in.
that's fair.
That's fair.
No, man, I salute to the boyfriend. I just, some people get all the luck. And the luck and the fortune.
That's it.
Fortune is
You think she
smile.
bought his grills?
Yo, I think keep it real.
Yeah.
Keep it a buck. I feel that this is just my opinion. I don't know how they possibly met, but I feel that wherever he spotted her,
Right.
you remember that movie? It's one of those black dating movies. Whatever. I don't want to say Two Can Play That Game. It was I think it was Two Can Play That Game. The one with Vivica, Bobby Brown's character. He was a mechanic.
Okay.
His teeth were fucked up. He had a jerry curl.
Yeah.
And his girl was a lawyer.
She fixed him up.
She spiced his life.
She fixed him up.
She spiced his life.
I mean, okay, so he's a musician. I mean, it could be as easy as he might have been like a keyboardist in the studio and she's seen him. I mean, he's just, look at the Kevin Federline. He was a backup dancer.
Yeah. And J-Lo's ex-husband was a backup dancer too.
Right. So it's like you're in the vicinity. They're looking over. I ain't got nobody to go home with tonight.
Do you believe in love after love?
Do you believe in love after love? I got you, babe.
Yo. Hell no. Go ahead, Cher. I am not mad at that.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad at all y'all double standard people. Leave Cher alone. Let her spend
that
her money
man.
where
spend
she wants
that
to
money,
spend her
man.
money.
Spend that money. Bet on black, Cher.
Yeah,
Bet on
it.
black.
That's it.
Continue betting on
That's
black.
it.
All right. What else is on your mind? You good? Everything's all right?
Yeah, I think that was the itch. I think that was the itch that
was
needed
your
to be
itch?
scratched. I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. What we got on the docket?
Well, I want to talk about Seth Rogen.
Seth.
Seth Rogen said, the key to happiness is not having kids. Fuck if your kids have it harder.
I got kids. I can see why he says that. I mean, no shade to my kids, but
that's all the way fucking shade. That's a solar eclipse type of shade right there. Yo.
No, but I mean, you got kids, you got responsibilities. I think though, and a reason why I asked you what his age is because at some point now, it's like you've learned, you've absorbed, you've done all these things in your life. You gained all this wealth. Who do you pass that down on to? Or who do you pass that down to?
Also, is that your purpose for having kids?
Well, I mean, that's one of my purposes to have kids. I have kids because I love kids. I always love kids. Love my nieces, my
You like
nephews.
to drive too?
Exactly. I don't know about that to drive a busload of them. That might make me kids. If I can be honest with
How you know Seth Rogen wasn't a school bus driver at one point in his life?
He could have been a school bus
driver. He said, fuck them kids.
But who, I mean, like, who do you pass that down to, right? It's like, we hear situations where fortunes go to like the family pet.
Yeah. Gunther. You heard about Gunther?
Yeah, I seen it.
Bitch ass.
I was like,
he had almost $1 billion, that dog.
Bro, they have a TV show for him.
Yeah, I know.
That's insane.
Okay, so pertaining to passed down, apprentices are still real out here.
Yeah.
The apprentices, proteges, successors, they do not have to be blood relatives for that to happen, right?
Right.
I think it's just easier if it's a blood relative for a certain amount of things.
The only thing I will say what the successor can't do if it's not a blood relative is carry on your name.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Can't carry on your name.
If they love you that much, whatever, then
they might have. If they drop their own parents' name.
Not even that. I think if they love you enough, they'll find a way to pay homage for you.
Right, carry on your legacy.
They might even like have a child and put the child name like
carry on your legacy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Some space, shape, or form.
Yeah, I get that.
Now, it's so weird where I have a son.
Yeah,
you have kids. I know I would move different if I didn't have kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know I would have more money if I didn't have a child.
Right.
But like I was looking at my son earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
He got his haircut and everything, and I'm looking at him like before the haircut, looking like, damn, it looks like you ain't got no home, whatever, right? Yeah. And it's not even wild. It's just kids just don't give a damn about their look. And then like afterwards, I'm like, damn, you look smooth now, man. I'm like, you're my responsibility.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And to me, that feeling, I think money can't buy.
No.
So, and there's some, like when I look at, this is different from the successor aspect, when you look at this person, you see stuff about you within this child.
Right.
People might have manners and behaviors that they might pick up when you're around somebody and everything, but then to know for a fact that you help make this person, this DNA aspect and shit, like, oh, you got my eyes, you got your mom's everything else, but you got my eyes. I look at my son, I'm like, you got my forehead and my pointy ass lips. Yeah. That's how I know you're mine. There's no more even needed.
Those are the cues.
Everything else, he light skinned, he got the mom look to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I can see that. But can I say my son makes me happy? I say no. I make myself happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If I didn't have before I had my son, I was still happy.
Right.
I think me being happy led me to meeting his mom on a happy event. A porn was made and he became out. He was the end result of the happy time. So I look at it as I don't really need a person, and that's including a child or even somebody I'm with, to make me happy.
Yeah.
I ask you the same thing. Do kids make you happy? Do your kids make you happy?
You know what? They'll be frustrating at times, but just like you say, just noticing simple things like that they do.
Mm-hmm.
That you can you only know that they do it because they're your child.
Mm.
And I think that makes me happy. And on top of that making me happy, it's almost an opportunity for me to not necessarily relive my life through them, but here's somebody who I can kind of help guide, help mold.
Yeah, you're part two. I always call the kids as your part two.
Right.
Because you're
guide, mold, put them on a path where you
wish you would have had it. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. All right, you didn't have the opportunity, you didn't have certain things set up for you. Now you're doing it. So your part two, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
If part one being you and it was so,
yeah.
Part two for sure, because you've taken the necessary steps possible to make it happen.
Yeah. And then I also look at the fact that, I mean, when my parents got up there in age
Mhm.
before they passed, it was the reciprocate of the love what they gave to their children,
Mhm.
which was shown back to them in their time of need.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Is it worth having kids though? Because like I said, you can have a successor, and you can save your money.
Yeah, but I mean, if everybody thought like that, how many successors would be around?
But there's tons though, because if you look at think about a company now, right? If you had
Yeah.
a company and such is too old and has no kids,
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, when that person's about to let's say pass or even retire, the company might still go on. If they were part of the cornerstone of building it,
Yeah.
they might say, I'm dissolving the company.
Right.
And some other people are like, oh, you got a good thing going on right here. You just might as well just end it and just get this residual money.
Yeah.
You're trusting whosoever to kind of do the things what you did
Right.
while you were at the helm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you passed it on to somebody.
Yeah.
So I feel like successes, they come in more ways. We haven't really labeled them as that much.
Yeah.
Because think about, let's say if you were making, you're making beats and some younger kid kind of like how you made beats, and you kind of show him the ones and twos, and then he becomes some super producer. That's still your successor.
Mm-hmm. For sure, 100%.
But a lot of people with stuff, I think because putting the title on it makes them kind of weird or move kind of different.
Yeah.
While they don't use the name and stuff.
Well, I mean,
too much.
going back to your example with like you having a successful company,
Mhm.
right? Your next in line has been with you, let's say, from day one,
Mhm.
right? Loyal employee. Without him, you probably would not be able to make the type of success that you've been, right?
Mhm.
You pass away and you will this company to your son who probably never worked a day in the office,
Mhm.
never gave a shit about the company, but now he's at the helm, right?
Nepotism.
He may have not liked your number two. He may have somebody. He might have a good friend that he like and decides he's gonna put him at the number two. At that point, your company is no longer going to reach or continue the potential that it had.
Mhm.
Whereas, yeah, you know what? It could have just went to the side and to this guy. Now, I don't know. I might have to put in a place in my will that you got to keep this motherfucker on. Keep him in the position that he's in. Don't move an inch without him.
That's what I'm saying. Succession is a hell of a thing, especially when you're running a business or a company. Like succession is real, right?
Yeah.
I watched season 1 of Gangs of London. And with Gangs of London, it starts when the head boss dies.
Right.
And they're looking at his son, they're like, you're too erratic to fucking run this fucking... We got connection with other gangs out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're too erratic. And he's like, no, we need to find my father's killer. They're like, we need to run business.
Right. Right.
And he wasn't good for business.
Shit. Going back to our Game of Thrones reference last week when Joffrey became king.
Mm-hmm. Not good for business.
Not good for business.
Let me ask you about with kids. Think about this. You remember your godparents? Think about your godparents.
Okay.
When's the last time you seen your godparents? All right.
The last time I see my godparents, I was still in my teenage years.
We need to come up with a new proposal for godparents.
This is a new shtick.
I feel like it's like either a halfway mark or 16.
Right.
Because okay, you're 18, you're an adult.
Yeah.
So go to 9.
Right.
Right? Your parents could have been best friends with whoever the fuck, and whoever the fuck became your godparents.
Right.
What if your parents not fucking with them no more?
This is true.
So you godparent less?
This is shit.
Because anything can happen,
Anything
right?
can happen. Anything can happen.
Anything still can happen. So now what? Where do you go?
Where do you go?
Because you don't talk to them, you don't interact with them, you don't see them.
Right.
I feel like this should be a renewal. Renewal of the contract.
Is this a renewal of a contract?
If you're not present at the 9 mark,
yeah.
and I don't see you at but by the time we come into 10, you're X'd off now, and you need to pay a fine.
You gotta pay a fine.
Hell yeah, releasing. It's free to sign up, but the fuck with us, whatever.
But because now I gotta go and do the hard work and find another godparent.
Yes, sir.
You gotta fit some of this bill.
There's inconvenience and fee.
Right.
You see it.
I see. The inconvenience fee. I wasn't sure where you were going at first with the charge, but okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Fee of inconvenience.
Now, when you get set new parents and stuff, you let them know like, hey, it's time's a ticking before this kid is 18. So we got prom coming up. We got some things. The Latin, you probably get paid for like a quinceañera or something like that, you know?
So hold on. The last one is the last set is paying a fee, right?
Right.
This new set, do they gotta put anything up front?
No.
No? Okay.
No, but they gotta be prepared and stuff to deal with some of these harsh times.
Right.
So, teenage angst.
Teenage angst.
You can't control your kid and everything like that, and you tried your best. Depends on the parent. You turn to the godparents, be like, hey, yo.
Yeah.
Need some support
Your
over
turn.
here.
Tag.
Your turn.
Tag.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah. There's a reason why you're godparents.
Reason.
Let me ask you this. Your child gets up to the age of 9, right?
Right.
The godparents is still around, right?
Mm-hmm.
But out of the rest of your friends, they didn't pan out to be as successful as you thought they would have been.
That's on you.
That's on you. You gotta
hug that, bro. You gotta hug that. You chose wrong.
You can't now say the 9-month mark and say 9-year mark and say, listen.
You gotta negotiate with the kid. So you gotta negotiate with the kid. Be like, hey,
yeah,
how are you today? Like, I'm fine, Dad. What's going on? Be like, Uncle Tony. Does he make you feel wanted? Uncle Tony's your godparent. Does he make you feel? Be like, no, Uncle Tony. I see him every now and then. Also, he doesn't care that much.
Right.
Is that what we're saying?
Is that what we're saying?
You're like, interesting.
I'm gonna need you to sign these release papers. Sign these release papers.
So we need to make some of this change on Uncle Tony punk ass since he ain't making you feel godly.
You're right. Yeah. All right.
Start this renewal, man.
Godparents out there like, what the fuck you mean? I go visit my godkids.
Check this shit. My father passed.
Right.
I got a phone call from my godmother.
Okay.
And so my godmother, Sandra, and my godfather, Uncle Louie.
Okay.
All right. So I'm looking like, okay, cool. My godmother called. She's like, hey, heard your father passed. My condolences. It's like, thanks.
Yeah.
I thought you were, should be involved enough to know for a fact, like when I got the news, you got the news.
Yeah.
I got a few weeks later, hey, I got your phone call. Like, you don't really fuck with me, do you?
And apparently you didn't really fuck with my dad.
Yeah, so since you really fuck with me like that, then do we really need to call you godmother? Like,
I'm gonna need you to sign these release papers.
Sign these release papers, man. Pay this fine. That's it, man. I don't know. They haven't been present. I want to say in my life, but then when I was asking a lot of people, the only person is Ben. Ben, like he's like my godfather. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
He's to the test of time.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he's been here. He's getting birthday gifts. I was like, oh shit. Some of these godparents don't play their position.
Do you think it's a generation thing? Because I may not be like week to week with my god kids, but I check in on them.
As long as you check in.
Yeah, I'll check in on them, and I have the relationship, even though their moms and pops is not together no more. I maintain that relationship with the moms, so I can just make sure she's good and make sure the god kids is good.
Absolutely,
they're not having any issues.
Absolutely, at least you're playing a position.
Right.
There's other people and stuff that ain't playing any position. Zero fucks are being given. They just take the title and stuff in the beginning because I guess it sounds cute.
Yeah,
because it's a newborn baby, and after the whole. We have a new person entering the world. I want to say that comes with the package, like baby shower, I guess now gender reveals, those other extra shits. Who's going to be the godparent? This person. Are they going to be really present in this child's life? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? So it's just wild to me where I'm having conversations with so many friends and they're like, I don't even know who my godparents are. I was like, we've got robbed.
Yeah.
We've got robbed.
It's true.
We're owed something. Like, what if we didn't make it to like 18 or like, our parents didn't make it?
The only reason why I know who my godparents are is because at the same time when I told you the last time I seen them, they came visiting from England. Mm-hmm. Otherwise than that, I probably would have never seen them. Because I've been to England 2 times since I was born. Mm-hmm. And each of those 2 times, I've never seen them. Right? Mm-hmm. My family in England know who they are. Mm-hmm. But it's just a situation whereas if you haven't been a part of my life to that point, when I get to England, I don't know if I'm obligated to come and look for you or try to find who you are or try to see where you're at.
That's wasting your gas and your vacation time. Fuck that.
There you go.
You better be at the airport picking me up.
Right.
If not, then deuces. I'm sorry. You call it a day. I wanted to ask you, could you imagine a world without winners and losers?
A world without winners and losers.
Would that be a world that might seem feasible? Like I want to say, I feel like even when it comes to school and kids, we shouldn't give these kids every fucking award. Perfect attendance, like I'm not a fan of perfect attendance.
Right.
You're supposed to go to school.
Yeah.
So why am I giving you an award for you showing up for something you're supposed to do?
When you mentioned that, I thought of a race. Right? Why should anybody be rewarding for crossing the finish line first? I'm expecting you to cross the finish line. Everybody should be awarded who crosses the finish line. Doesn't matter if you're first or last.
But we care about who's first.
We care about who's first, but why? You know what I mean? Like that person who crossed the finish line did just as much as that person who did first. They just didn't do it in a timely fashion. It's still the same distance.
But I feel like we're driven by competition.
Yeah.
Like on a planet wise, I want civilization wise, right?
Right.
We're driven by competition because it's kind of like there's some people that care about who's the first. And I think that, like, either we have this internal conversation, first or best.
Yeah.
Right? The best, I'm thinking, is more important to me.
Yeah.
And with the best, there's slight competition in it, but the best is not really, I want to say, you're breaking a neck to say that you're going to do it the best. It just happens.
It just happened. Yeah.
It just happens. Yeah. Because it's kind of like, okay, Mariah Carey, the fantasy, right? And who was it? It wasn't the Weather Girls.
I can't remember who did the original.
Who had their original. Yeah. Mariah Carey did hers, and then Lotto did her Big Dick Energy.
Right.
And all three are good.
All three are good.
But I feel like Mariah did it the best.
Yeah, she killed it.
She killed it.
Yeah, she killed it.
So I'm looking at him like, no shade to Lotto, no shade to the other people and stuff that did it before.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm more focused on the best. I don't give a fuck about who did it first.
Right.
So that competition, like first, second, third. No, did you do it well?
Yeah.
Did you do it well?
Yeah.
Because if I see somebody running across the finish line and stuff looking like a dying camel compared to somebody crossing the finish line with like grace and elegance, I'm focused on the grace and elegance.
For all I know, that person who crossed the finish line last might have not have been concerned with crossing first. Just be concerned with finishing. Along their way, may have seen somebody struggling or need something
And assisted them?
and assisted them, and then just kept it moving. Where that person who was first, all he wanted to do was be first. He passed that same person that was struggling.
So he didn't care about winning?
He didn't care about helping that person. All he focused on was winning, being first. Should that person be rewarded? Or you reward that person who stops and thinks of others and helps the others?
Some people reward the one who stops and helps others, and some people reward the other person who
Finished
who
first.
said fuck everybody and went straight through fast, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because you have countless times where you tell somebody in so many words, like I guess on a macro level, stay focused, don't let nothing distract you, go for the goal.
Eyes on the prize.
Eyes on the prize. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do we cuss somebody when we giving them like kind of, like a goal like that? We shouldn't.
We shouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't, but I just look at stuff as that a win is a win.
A win is a win, man.
A
A
win
win is a win. I was like, whether I run to that finish line or I walk to the finish line, as long as I cross that finish line.
Okay. So let's say you have a guy friend.
Right.
Right? You have two guy friends.
Mhm.
One guy friend and stuff, he'll say, well, he'll constantly date attractive women,
Okay.
but the wheel is turning, but the hamster is dead. There's nothing inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Lights are on, no one's home.
Yeah.
Within these women.
Right.
Then you have the other guy friend who, what's the song say? If you want a happy wife, you got to get an ugly wife. He's got him somebody, not a looker to you.
Not a looker to me.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And if you're at the bar, beauty is in the eye of the beer
Beer
holder.
holder.
Right?
That's right.
This is his woman.
Yeah.
And he loves her. You're watching these two about to go at it. The one with the women that's like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, nothing in their dome, is looking at the one married and stuff. Is like, you could be out here, get some pussy like me
Yeah.
from these top models. And the other one's like, or you can be home
Yeah.
with a woman who has some sense and knows how to run home.
That's it. Those are your options.
Are they wrong?
He really wrong.
They're not
He
wrong.
really wrong, boy.
They're not wrong. So that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Like
this
the
is going
spirit,
back. This is going back to the whole Seth and the kids.
the spirit of the spirit of competition is not really needed.
No.
It's to whatever your world sees fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might not care about who was the first person that made a proper like beat with like an NPC,
Right.
but you damn sure know for a fact one of the best beats you've heard made from an NPC before.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter when you got to it. You got to it when you got to it.
Right. Right.
So that's what I'm saying. The spirit of competition for like winners and losers, I don't really think is really necessary.
Nah. I don't
But
think
it's just
necessary.
automatic in this world.
Yeah.
And if we're looking at like human behavior, human traits, or human instincts, it's not there.
Do you think that's a spinoff of the invention of sport and competition, or do you think that was always there? Like, if we look at it from a perspective of one tribe conquering another tribe, they feel superior. The other tribe feels inferior.
Inferior.
You feel like it would have it's a natural progression from that train of thought.
No, I feel like the spirit of competition probably came from where, and correct me if I'm wrong, it could be like some Hunger Games type of shit.
Right.
Where you had the haves and you have the have-nots.
Right.
And the haves are looking for entertainment.
Right.
And now they look at the have-nots to be like, hey, if you did this, this, and this, You can win something. You can win something. So now it's like, well, if I win that, might put me in a level of like of the haves.
Right.
Or it might be seen more by the haves.
Right.
So I feel like you can have an Olympian, like even here, as we speak, there's probably several Olympian people training for the next Olympics, gearing to go. You never heard shit about them. They win a gold now, they're known.
Yeah.
They went from nothing to something.
Right.
And that's from competition. Right? From being the first in whatever the hell that they're doing. So I feel like now that aspect has come through, like, you can go from nothing to something.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck about your something. Over here, I'm in my zone. What I eat don't make you shit.
Exactly.
So I was like, I really think we can go with a world with no winners and losers.
Yeah.
Let me say this. The losers, because let's say winners.
Okay.
Everybody grandstands the champion. That's where I learned that term grandstanding from. They just cater to the champion. They cater to the winner. What do you do to the loser? Do we not give a fuck about the loser now? Like in the spirit of competition, you'd be like, oh shit, Not Your Average was number 1. Marv was number 8. The last place you could run is 8. Do we now shit on Marv?
Nah, I think we need to give Marv... First, I would say the encouragement to try and improve, but at the end of the day...
I've given it all I got, Captain.
Well, I was about to say, at the end of the day, we got to let Marv know that it's not always needed to finish first. The fact that you finished, you won for yourself. And sometimes we got to acknowledge that winning for ourselves is the best thing for ourselves, as opposed to winning for others.
Yeah. I dig that.
I remember I was seeing this last Olympic. They had this dude, he was a runner. I can't remember what year Olympics it was, where I think he tore his hamstring running.
Okay.
And he had stopped. He fell on his knees. But it was so important that he finished, and his father knew how important it was that he finished, that his father came running out the stands, put his arm around his shoulders, picked him up.
Shit, no, I remember this.
Picked him up.
And helped him cross.
And all these, like, the officials and the people were like coming, it's like, he was like pushing him off. He said, no, my son is going to cross this finish line. And he took his son across the finish line. And it was just one of those moments.
You didn't give a fuck about the winner. You cared more about this loser.
That was it. It was like, that moment, at that time, it was like, shit, you realize the importance that has the father. You seen it. The father said, nah, my son ain't going to go out like that. If it takes me carrying him across the finish line,
so be it.
So be it. And I think that lesson that son learned was probably better than any first place that he could possibly get.
I dig that. Cool. Let's get to the question of the week, man.
Question of the week.
Which
came first, the chicken or the egg?
Sex or relationship? No. Where did you learn how to love? Question of the week is, where did you learn how to love?
My parents.
What did you see from your parents that made you say, like, this is what you can understand, love?
I just seen how my father took care of my mom, and how he took care of his kids, but how he really took care of my mom. And I was like, this is a time where I grew up with majority of my friends being in single parenthood. And
so I don't want to speak, but the friends, they're with their mom, not their fathers. With
majority of them with the mom. I think I only have one friend that was with his father.
Okay.
but the majority was with their moms, right? And them growing up, it looked like they had struggles trying to find somebody who they could love. Or even if they found somebody, struggling on how to treat them well. Or treat them like how they should be treated.
How old were you at this time? 7, 8? Older?
Older. I want to say probably like...
Double digits?
Yeah, maybe like around 11, 12 is when I really started
paying attention
to this.
Interesting.
And it's like, just flipping through photo albums, like seeing them, like them kiss, them embrace, and as a little kid, like, but then you get,
your parents.
Yeah, you get older and you're like,
this is something you would like.
Yeah, he's like, damn, like, I see that. And then I see the love that they give their kids, and I'm saying, that makes me want to be like my dad, right? Make me want to find somebody who's maybe not like my mom, but has the same qualities as my mom, because that's what my dad loved. So me being the second coming of my dad, maybe that's possibly what I would want and I would love.
Are you Jesus because you're a son of Joseph?
You know what? I mean, I didn't want to really say anything.
He's like, actually.
I didn't really want to say anything, but I mean, you saying it for me, so.
I think for me, where I learned to love is actually through the women in my mother's side of the family.
Okay.
Because most of them are single. We're single at that time. It was something where I felt like the women in my mother's side of the family were trying to raise, especially when it comes to boys,
right?
Trying to raise the men they never had. So you see where they would want to kind of make sure certain type of things and stuff was in order. Like I'll say from my mom had this thing where, okay, people always say like, I'm matching. I stay matching and stuff, right?
Yeah.
My mom looked at it stuff as that her ideal man or her ideal dude is like well-dressed and he's color coordinated.
Right.
So hence, when it comes to her son, this is what she's doing.
Right.
She likes her men kind of like well-kept, cut and groomed and everything.
Yeah.
She's doing it to the... You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So certain things where they would want in a partner,
right? They're
trying to make sure it happens within their children.
Right. And being women themselves, already an idea and notion what a woman may be looking for in a suitable mate.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
I remember one time I fell down, I cut one of my legs. I stay fucking myself.
You're a kid. You stay chipped up.
You're a kid. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one time I got like a wicked ass like gash on one of the knees or some shit like that. Whatever. My mom was looking like, I'm never gonna have any grandkids. I was like, the fuck does that even mean? I was like 7 too. I was like, what? She, oh, you just cut yourself up. I'm like, I'm not out here with a knife.
My mom hit me with one of those, man. I was when I was a baby, and I think, and I dropped, and I must have bust my lip. And she's like, look on you, now your lip big and swollen. You're not, well, how you gonna work with that?
How you gonna work with that?
Years later, thick lips is in, baby.
No Botox needed.
None whatsoever.
Shit. Nah. My mom said some... I know my mom said some toxic shit to me like that before. My mom... I remember
my mom used to say, you should have been taller. You should have been taller still. You didn't get that one? You didn't get one of those?
No.
I got one. I got one of those.
I think my mom... I know one thing for certain my mom used to say to me. She used to always say, she's like, why? She always said with the... She always used to pause. She's like, why? It's gonna be kind of hard for you to kind of compete out here in these streets. So I was just like, why? I had a little more weight on me when I was younger.
Right.
So she's like, fat's not in there. Yo.
She a fat shaming? She had a fat shaming before you even knew what fat shaming was.
See? We've been fat shamed so long ago. Mm-hmm. But there was never a name to it. The kids back then.
It wasn't a name to it.
There wasn't a name. We just kept it trucking. We all right, my mom called me fat.
That's it.
Move on. Yeah. That's it. My mom is fat shaming me.
Y'all niggas thought Chubbs was the cool nickname. You got Chubbs for a reason.
Right? And Chubbs not even Chubbs no more. He's
Right.
he's out here working out and everything. And like I said, the children back then, different. The adults, they built different now.
Yep.
They want the best for themselves.
Right.
Chubbs got a name. He's stuck with the name Chubbs.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing with it.
Yep.
It's there forever now.
That's it.
Done it. But most of that stuff came from them. I want to say from my aspect of love, and they always told me, if it makes you feel good,
Right.
if it makes you feel good and you're not losing part of your soul in the process,
Yeah.
continue and lean in to it. So I guess if the woman makes you feel good, you don't feel like, like it's tearing your lay off your soul, your peace of mind, certain type of things, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. And from there, I think I was able to understand at least the basic concepts for me
Yeah.
of love. And
Yeah.
then as I got older and as I'm dating and then get to know different women or different ways, got a better principle and foundation to lay on.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Mommy, you fat shame me though. I got you when I see you.
And he did well. He did well. You got me.
I got poked the other day. Somebody asked me stuff, but they're like, "Yo, am I losing weight? Am I anorexic?"
What?
Somebody asked me if I don't got no woman and everything like that. I'm like, I'm out here.
You fretting off the weight, Mom? Is that what's happening?
I'm thick, I'm low key. I think
You're slim thick.
I'm slim thick.
You're slim thick.
Slim thick. I might be. No, I'm thick slim.
You thick slim.
I'm thick slim. There you go. I'm thick slim. Man up. Let's get to the Ask the Sons for the week. You ready?
I'm ready.
First Ask the Sons comes from pineapple_button. What do you miss from the COVID lockdowns? Everything.
Good verses.
Yo, I miss
Good
verses. I miss verses.
Yeah.
I'm actually pissed off that verse. I always thought when the pandemic would be freed up,
Right.
the verses would be the new old school tour.
Which would have made perfect sense.
Yeah, like I look at it as where you're bringing out this person that's just gonna go on tour.
Yeah.
For like selected cities.
Yeah.
And then you do another one in different cities.
Right.
So it's kind of like, oh, you wish, let's say if there was a Jay-Z and a Nas versus, right? You would hope that it would be done at least in New York somewhere within those places. And if not, you can get the demographic to flock to get to New York see these specific ones.
Sure can.
You could do an LA one, but like Snoop and Dre possibly.
Yeah.
And then, you get what I'm saying?
It could have, they had the opportunity to make it like almost like just what you're saying, even like a festival.
Yes. Yes.
Because I could see a festival like that, a versus festival.
Yeah. So versus was definitely one thing. Gas prices was peanuts.
Gas prices
was down, especially when it came to the liter over here. It was sexy.
Yeah.
That was just like what I think I seen one at like 70 cents. Mm-hmm. I got gas for 70 cents a liter.
Mm.
I was like, go Canada.
Mm.
Clean traffic. Clean air.
Traffic.
There's no traffic.
No traffic at all.
I was cutting and going on that highway.
Yeah.
And I think somebody was scared when they were like, ooh, how are you going to get around? Because they want everybody to go home. I'm like, first of all, I'm a healthcare worker.
You got the healthcare juice.
See here. I'm on my way to work. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. See? Leave me alone, copper. See?
You know, it's so funny too, because one person, we were talking about this, I think last year sometime.
Right.
And they said, believe it or not, during the lockdowns, they saw more of their friends than they did now. And I was like, that's crazy. Because they said that their friends would hit them up on the Zooms and all that type of stuff. Now people out doing shit again.
Yeah.
And it's gone back to like, you're not seeing them or like every now and then a phone call. Or you might run into them at one particular.
I didn't even think of it like that, but yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, because like you were home, you had this time. A good portion of people would be like, I just want to see how you doing. You good over there?
Yeah.
All right. Yo, Zoom, link me, FaceTime, something.
Yeah.
Now everybody's regular schedule program. I'll call you back.
I was just heading out.
I'm just heading out.
Just heading out.
Okay. Next one comes from Shin Nakuma. Street Fighter. What did you learn embarrassingly late in your life?
Embarrassingly late in my life.
For me, proper oral hygiene. For me, because they never make, like, for me, to my knowledge, as a, let's say, I was raised, brush my teeth, take some water in, swish it around, spit out the toothpaste, keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Not knowing and stuff like going to for a cleaning with an oral or a dental hygienist. Yeah. They're telling me a different kind of regimen I'm supposed to be doing now. I'm like, pardon? They're like, yeah, you'll add another 15 years to your teeth. To your teeth. I was like, what? And then she explained, she's like, you gotta floss. Go in the floss first. Yeah. Then you can rinse with tap to kind of get out to loosen up whatever remainder of the foods and stuff. Yeah. Swish that out. That's the last time you use tap water. Then you start brushing. All the foam and stuff from the brush, from the toothpaste, is now going into the crevices that was blocked off because you didn't floss. Yes. So now now that foam is now getting into those deep impenetrable places. Right. You spit. You got grit, but you spit. Yeah. Then you use mouthwash. Okay. And after that, you don't fuck with nothing for 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's a regimen.
Exactly. That's a regimen. When you're using tap water to rinse, you actually age your teeth. You age your teeth by I think they said like almost a decade. Really? Yeah, so don't be surprised when you see old Cyrus and they're missing like some digits and stuff in their mouth. Yeah. They've been out here right after rinsing, taking everything in. So for me, I was looking like, who the fuck? Like at 30, you know, like my mid to late 30s. Yeah. I'm just learning how to properly care for my mouth. I got half of my life left.
Well, what do we consider embarrassingly late? Because I would say pleasing a woman is just as important as pleasing yourself.
Of course.
But when you're young, you're just all about pleasing yourself.
True. It's subject to change. Yeah. The reason I say subject to change because it depends on the person. Right. Right? Like I always feel like you might have a patient partner that might work with you. Because I look at it as like when you're sleeping with somebody, the fuck has to be custom. It's a custom fuck. You can't take your same way you'll fuck your wife, the same way you would fuck whatever woman you spend money on sex on, because people, I'm still hearing sonic booms from that. You're still hearing. I'm hearing sonic booms. You're like, Susan, you spend money on and then somebody's like, Susan, you spend money on head? I was like, head? Yo, we had a conversation we'll have a conversation off the record, off the cameras and shit. I'll tell you about that. So I was looking like, oh shit. But you can't use the same technique. You can. Right. Fundamentals. Right. But, okay, what if your woman is not a vaginal orgasm type of woman?
Right. Yeah.
What if she's a clitoral woman? Right. Now, what if you're with a woman that don't want her clitoris to be kind of stimulated like that, and vaginal penetration is all she needs?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to customize the fuck.
But when you're 13, you're not looking to customize nothing. No. 15, 14, then that's what I'm saying. It's like, at some point now, you realize, oh shit. And women know this stuff from jump. They know that.
But they're patient. Like I feel like either they're good, I don't say good liars. They're evil. You're a liar. You're evil. Yeah. To not tell him and stuff, he ain't shit. Yeah. And like have this conversation. But then again, some people are not mature enough for that convo. Like men and women. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like a person might say like, I don't want to have this conversation with my woman because she might get angry and might think every other woman I want to be with is a hoe or something like that because her ego won't be able to take this kind of degree of conversation. Right. And then vice versa. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes out there probably coming around swinging like King Dingaling and their women's like, oh, I don't want to tell him that like, 2 minutes of pumping ain't going to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't going to do it, yeah. So I think it comes to a level of maturity to have that kind of convo. Right. And then to come to the understanding like, oh shit, I was doing this wrong. Right.
Right.
But some people, to this day, it's like they will still probably
to this day.
fuck every woman the same, or guy might sleep with every woman the same way,
Yeah.
and still feel like he's King Dingaling.
Mm-hmm.
So
My magic move works on everybody. Okay, Magic Mike.
my magic move. The hell is that?
You gotta ask Magic Mike.
Shit. Yeah, I do feel like sex could be, orgasms and everything with that as well.
Yeah.
Last question comes from Joe Blow.
Oh, he didn't learn anything late.
Shit.
What do you like, Joe Blow?
Wait for it. What is the important question to ask on a first date? So he's going to be learning this a little late. So as I said, wait for it. I was reading what you're saying. I was like, No shade from this side, Joe. You can tell who the asshole is, Joe. That's all I got to say.
I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry, man. If there's any consolation, my last name starts with Joe as well.
So, okay, what's the important question? What's the important question?
My most important question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, nice. Are you in a relationship or a situational ship?
Right now?
Yeah, I gotta see if you're involved.
What's going on? What's happening today?
What's happening with you?
Right.
Because I remember one day, scariest thing in the world. I went on a date with a girl. I told you.
Yeah, you told me.
I went on a date and I thought everything was peachy keen.
Yeah.
Until like I'm driving on the highway, then when I get off, her boyfriend and his gang cut me off and then came out the car with a gun.
Why do our lives mirror each other?
It's scary, man. It's
Yeah. Let me know if you're dealing with somebody crazy. I remember one time I was talking to this girl, right? And she had she just worked at Brampton City Center. It's a mall, right? I was living in Toronto at that time. So she's like, yeah, come in, come meet me after work. So I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. So I went to her the store she worked at, and then we were walking out the mall, and she was like, oh shit. I was like, yo, what's wrong with you? What you bugging? She goes, that's my ex's friend. My ex's friend just seen me. I was like,
okay. Ex.
You said X, right? She's like, come on, we gotta go. So I'm like, okay. So then we leave, right? So now I'm going and I'm dropping her back to her complex. So when I say complex, slightly the hood, but not the hood. Slightly the hood, but not the hood. Maybe years progressed. Now, if we go around there now, it might have progressed into the hood. But then it was slightly.
It has the potential of being a ghetto.
It was a potential. Right?
What kind of shit is this?
So then we pull up inside her complex right now. So I'm driving in. All I see is the passenger side door open, and like dude trying to grab girly and pull her out the car. So I step on it, right? I gas it, and the way how our complex is like, the road itself goes in a square, one way in, one way out, but it just goes around for you to get back out. So now I'm driving around this bitch trying to come back out. Next thing I know, dude is standing in the middle of the road like he's Superman. So I'm like, well, it's either you or the car, mother. And he just jumped out the way. And so I was like, so now we got out of there now. She's like, bring me over here. She goes, I need to think for a minute. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm saying to myself,
you need to think about what?
I'm saying to myself, what just happened? I said, you ain't thought to tell me that you had like an ex-psychopath? But like, those are the type of things that niggas need to know. Okay. We need to know that. So we can understand what we're getting into. Yeah.
You think men, both sides, do you think people would disclose that exes are crazy like that?
I know a few that have disclosed. I know a few women that have disclosed that, they're,
because I never really asked that before. Because I always felt like I'm dealing with, if I'm gonna like build with somebody, they're solid enough to know for a fact like that kind of energy, they should rectify and deal with all that.
Right.
Like I'll say this. Me in a relationship now, I don't feel like there should be any place where my ex and my woman would have like any kind of animosity and stuff. Like I have to be the factor to deal with both of them. You get what I'm saying?
I get you.
I look at stuff as like, I look at my woman and stuff as like anything pertaining to like my son over there, I'll deal with.
Right.
And then I look at, ex and stuff and like, this is my woman. You gonna have respect for her and that. So I'm not gonna let anything like, if my ex was crazy, well, I wouldn't give him that crazy woman like that. But you never know. Yeah. But if they were crazy and stuff like that, I would notify the next person and be like, hey, just let you be known, I do want to date you. Yeah. Might want to fuck you, possibly keep you. Yeah. However, I stuck my dick in crazy and I'm stuck for the rest of my life.
And yeah.
Do you still want to go on this field trip with me?
Yeah, we're going to have to call it a day.
But see, and I feel like a lot of people won't dispose that.
No, they're not going to dispose that. Why not? Especially if you're night and day.
You say that you're the calm one, this person.
Bro, if you just spent a year and a half with the Joker, or it's
why so serious?
Now Batman coming to the picture.
Yeah.
You're not telling them about Joker.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. So what do you got though? For so important first date, just that. I think the next important thing I would ask on a first date too is, what's your longest friendship?
Longest friendship?
Longest friendship. For me, I look at those things are important. I always hear, your man or your girlfriend, your best friend and everything. I'm like, no, I feel like you guys got to move like best friends.
Yeah.
But are you guys really going to be each other's best friends? Not so much. I might like to look at strippers. You might not look at strippers.
Might not. Yeah,
my best friend will like to look at some strippers too.
Right.
We are not the same. Right. We are not in the same group. Right. Now, I feel like there's like an aspect where my longest friend, okay, it's so funny too. My longest friend, his name is Ben. And one of my closest friends to this day, his name is Ben.
His name is Ben. Yeah. You got a thing for Ben.
Don't say it like that. I don't like how you said it. Gay. Why you say it like that? You got a thing for Ben. And on this rainbow episode of the Podical Sons, Not Travis just labeled me gay. No, but it's like I said, my longest friend.
Right.
We've been friends for 30 years. 30 years.
Nice.
And my closest friend, Ben, the second Ben, I always say to him, we basically kind of share a brain.
Right.
We kind of pretty much share a brain. We kind of act and move, like in like matter.
Yeah. And
I look at it where it's dope because if you're looking at now my Equifax on friendships now, you're looking like, oh, he's not one that will switch friends over and over or new people and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, all right, it might go some thick and thin shit.
Yeah.
But it'll still ride out through the test of time.
Right, yeah.
So this person has longevity. And it shows that in the character of like a relationship. Come looking like, if your longest friend is like, so, then that means, yeah, you could have a friend for like 30, a woman can have a friend for like 30 years, and then she could be off and on with dudes. But it tells you and stuff like there's problematic and stuff kind of there too, but it's more soul searching. And when there's no friends, or like if your longest friend might be like, oh, me and such used to work together for 5 years ago and everything. I'm like, but you're not 5 years old.
Yeah.
You're 30 odd plus. What happened to the other friends and stuff from the past? Oh, I know people kind of grow apart and grow different, but when you're amongst like different kind of circles, different kind of point of views, you acquire friends and acquisitions along the way.
Like other people.
I thought, but then it comes back to our favorite question. Is it hard for adults to make new friends? So now you're growing and you're elevating in this world now where you were okay about jump rope and everything at 16.
Yeah.
Now you're about finances and getting a job for like Wall Street or something like that. Your old friends, they're not on that.
They're not on that.
Don't you make current friends now?
But
don't you make new friends that's kind of like within that world?
You should.
Okay. what about your old friends? Did you turn rich and switch? Did you say fuck them because they're not on the things that I'm using?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That question goes a long way for me too.
I was wondering when he said like how long or your longest friendship. I was like, what kind of information would you draw from that question? But you broke it down probably.
Yeah, because I asked women in the past before, like, what's your longest friendship? And then when they'll pause and think, and I heard a woman say something like, well, me and such has been friends all our lives.
Yeah.
And like she's 30, like she's, mid-30s and everything. I'm like, all our lives only. Like, we knew each other since probably about like 5, 7 years old and everything. I'm like, I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
So then I know for a fact you're not the type to throw away people when it's like when shit hits the fan. Right? Because I might be the fan.
He might be the fan. You might be the fan.
Well, because I look at it where I don't want to get in between none of my friends, like, I want to say relationships.
I'm sorry. Many Ben. Many Ben. Okay, I'm done. Hey, I'm an asshole.
Well played.
Well played.
Well played. No, I look at it where friendships tend to go astray at times.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to see eye to eye with this person all the time. Do you like this make and break your relationship? Like, there's certain factors I feel like should kind of stand the test of time. We're not going to agree, like, all right, if you pick up, like, say if you were single, you dated a woman that only just wanted to take you for your money and everything, and be like, hey, boss, I know my life is good for you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you got to leave some for the kids.
See, and here's the thing, because
that would throw a fray on your relationship.
Yeah. I was thinking of the question of how's your relationship with like your family, like your parents and your family. But I think I would rather ask that friendship question first.
Family's there.
Yeah.
Like, it's, nobody wins in the family feuds.
Right.
And I'm going to say, you can probably say, fuck family today. 3 years later, you could be want to bond with your family again.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to say family is kind of like there.
Yeah.
The friendship thing, not so much. Not unless you guys have like bobbed and weaved kind of ties where you guys legit choose not to like, interact with each other.
Yeah.
But other than that, the friends will come and go.
Mm-hmm.
It's to the work you put in it.
Yeah.
Remember I said anything that ends in the word ship, you got to put work to keep it afloat.
You got to put work.
Friendship is one of these things.
Yeah.
And your relationship.
Yeah.
So I look at it like, I want to be concerned about like your friendship aspect while I'm getting to know you on a deeper level. Because if I know you're the type of person, like, I want to know, are you going to take my business to your girlfriends?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they're long time riders and everything, I won't feel that bad.
No.
Because I feel like if they're like off and on people or some people at work, you just discuss some shit with whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to work out.
Nah. That dick pic might end up in the wrong phone.
Girl, look at this. Girl. This was soft. No veins. We are here.
We're here, man.
We're here. We're here. Ready to end this bad boy?
I'm ready.
All right. And with Associated Sons.
What you got for us this week, Marv?
Associated Sons this week says, healing may be a personal journey, but others can and will help you if you let them.
So says the Sons.
I feel like there's so many people who feel they have no one to turn to.
Yeah.
And I always try to start it with my simplest form.
Right.
To know who's there for me or not. And I say it with words, but I look at body language for reactions.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, do you love me? Be like, yeah. They're like, all right, yeah. What's going on? And if they're like, they get the jerk back, you're like, where is this going? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was going to ask you for a kidney. Like, oh, soft things. I got you.
I got you.
Like, what are we trying to ask? I don't know what you're going to ask.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, this person doesn't really fuck with me like that. You ask somebody like, I love you, like, without a doubt, why, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh shit, I got something to talk to you about.
Yeah.
This has been going on with me. I've been feeling this type of way, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? Then you'd be like, you know what? This sounds like this is beyond my scope. Maybe we should try to get you some help or somebody that might be able to.
Right.
You can't hear what you don't reveal.
Even though it's out of my scope, I'm not gonna leave you hanging.
No.
Because I love you. We're gonna work with this. We're gonna work at this together.
Right. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try a thing and see how far stuff we can go. I can go with my system and not pull the resources and stuff for you.
Yeah.
Right? The community aspect of people, I feel like day by day it's slipping away.
I think so.
Because it's kind of like, once you get into your friend pocket, fuck everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
No new friends. That's a lot of people tend to move, but something might be beyond your friends to help you. Especially when it comes to like healing.
Of course.
When it comes to healing, because some people your friends probably never heal from their traumas.
This is true.
They're in their situations.
This is true.
Their shortcomings. So, there's more people outside your friend box.
Yeah.
Just let them help you.
Let them help you, man. I think and another thing is like, for sure you can be part of your own rescue, but what if you can't see what you need to rescue yourself from? Sometimes we're so inundated in a situation that we can't see it. It takes somebody from the outside looking in to say, hey, I noticed this, or hey, you ever feel like, because I've been watching something and it just something seems off, and just like I said, you might be oblivious to it, and then they bring it to your attention, you'd be like, you know what? Now that you mention it, this, that, and the third, right? But just being in the situation, sometimes you cannot see it for yourself.
I feel that's real, because I feel like how people go nose blind. You can go blind like in being in the situation, right?
Right.
Like I look at it where it was so funny. I went out for drinks with some friends from school.
Yeah.
Recently. And we went out one time downtown Toronto, and gunshots were ringing off in the club district.
Okay.
Right? And we were all together that time. Like, remember last time we all went out, and it was one time and they were scattered, and it's like, you didn't even flinch. I'm like, what? I was like, they're like, yeah, you didn't even flinch. You just kind of crept down a little bit and you're trying to figure out what and what. I was like, I just lived in the hood like so many times.
Not hood in the making, the actual.
like the real hood, not the rap hood, the real hood. So I'm like, gunshots is kind of normal to me, but to them it's not.
Right.
So they're looking like, that's not, somebody looked at me like, it was a woman there. I know exactly what she is. She's like, that's not healthy. And you're making it seem like it's a healthy thing. I was like, wait, what? I'm like, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I've been entrenched into the negativity.
Yeah.
And the fuck shits about like gunshots surrounding, you know what I'm saying?
It's funny when you say that, because with a group of friends, you going out with a group of friends, right? And we had this mentality, right? The instant that they get there, they're ready to party, have a good time. The instant we get there, we're scoping out the place.
I think that's in my black culture.
We're scoping out the place to say, okay,
where's the exit?
That's where the exit is.
Yo, I always look for the exits first. I was like,
all
right, where are the exits? All right, this is how we got to get into the building. I was like, I remember I went to like a party. It was like an old, like, I guess like a shipping factory type of place.
Yeah.
I guess it must have been like a meat place. You remember like the old fish market thing was? Over the bridge?
Yeah.
They had like the flaps of the plastic and everything. So you move it, you're like there getting pat down by the bouncers and shit. And I remember when I was walking in there, I was like, this is an old factory.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we gonna go shit hits the fan? Well, why are you always thinking the worst of things, whatever? And these idiots, their main concern, there's bitches and hoes. I was like, I don't care who's there. I need to make it out alive. I went in there
to be able to talk to these bitches and hoes when I leave.
And when I went in there was tons of women in there and stuff too. And I'm like, yeah. And when they see me dancing with different chicks, they're like, hey, you didn't want to come in here. I'm like hell. What happened? I'm like, they jinxed it. I want to say about like, was the last call like around 2?
Right.
Like some kind of commotion happened at the bar area. Then the lights came on. They out there fighting. And then now everybody's bottlenosing to try to get out that same area where we came in.
Yeah.
Few people, because it was like on the loading dock type of level, they ran through the plastic. Once they moved the plastic, they're right there. They kind of like, it was like a lip of probably like maybe 3 feet.
Yeah.
But they kind of kept running. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Fall over.
Mm.
And to be prepared.
That's what I'm saying.
So yes.
Yes. So get yourself a friend from the hood. While you party, you know he's got the plan B ready.
I don't want to say all that, but I can put a stamp on that.
Yeah.
Put a stamp on that. And that's it. Beep. That's all, folks.
That's it.
Once again, yes. Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, all the above, all the platforms possible. We appreciate you guys.
Notification bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Bring it. Podical Sons. Thank you once again for listening to Podical Sons. Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity.
Genius has its limits.
Peace and love, y'all.
Peace.
Deuces.
The Podical Sons was not your average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.